And today our topic is about destiny. You know, when you speak to Muhammadans about destiny in their religion, they try to make it about Allah knowing. Like right away they try to dodge the question and they make it about Allah knowing. This is destiny have nothing to do with you knowing or not. Destiny is about you decide for someone what to do. Now some they will say to you, well, the word destiny is mentioned in the New Testament and in the Old Testament. That will not change anything. We have tons of verses in the Bible that says it clearly that you harvest what you seed. You harvest what you seed. So when the Bible speaks about destiny, destiny in the Bible is in certain things. As an example, if you do this, you go there. As an example, if you don't accept Jesus, you go to hell. That is something you cannot change. But you can change where to go, because you can go with Jesus. There's two options only. So this is the only destiny we believe in. So either you are with God or against God. But in Islam, the story is different. When you ask a Muslim about what is destiny, right away he will try to make it, okay, you know what, Allah, He knew what will happen tomorrow. But we know that first of all, Allah do not know what will happen tomorrow. Allah, in fact, do not know what will happen today or what happened yesterday. This is why Muhammad, he got all his information wrong. As an example, the sun set in murky water. There's a guy, his name is Zakir Naik. He went all the way, he found Gog and Magog, and he built a dam between him and them, which nobody can find such a dam, and it's a stupid idea even to say so, because you build a dam between us and them, they can go around the dam, you know, especially they are very aggressive creatures. They can climb mountains, they can. So Islam is a very stupid religion, and claiming that Allah know is just a stupid claim. Allah do not even know how the baby is made. Allah, he think that hail is coming from mountains in heaven. Allah, he think that sperm became a blood. So we are talking about things happening every day, not things will happen in the future. So if you do not know what happened every day and what happened before, how you will know tomorrow? So what is destiny? Always the Muhammadan, if you try to ask them the question, they will give you an answer which is not an answer, like Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik, they ask him the question. A Muslim, he asked him a question. You know those funny program TV, which nobody is asking the question anyway. I think they fabricate the question and make a program about the question. So here in this video, Zakir Naik, they ask him about destiny. And Zakir Naik, he will give you the answer.
Everything is destined by Allah, and if I commit any sin, then who is to blame? If I am destined to commit a murder, and then I commit a murder, but naturally I will not be responsible for it. It is Allah who has destined it. Therefore, He will be responsible. Then why should I be punished for this?
As far as the question of this qadr is concerned, it's a common question asked by Muslims as well as non-Muslim about the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's difficult to understand. I'd like to give an example for people to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ilm ghaib, has knowledge of the unseen.
As the word he said in Arabic, I will never understand what he said in the coming 10th century. I have no idea what he just said. Supposedly he's saying an Arabic word now.
He has knowledge of the future. I'll give you an example, that if in a classroom there is a teacher who teaches the students, after 1 year has passed, before the examination, the teacher predicts that this child, he will come first class first. This child, he will get a second class. This child, C, he will fail. And once the examination takes place, and when the results are out, student A gets the first class first, student B, he gets a second class, student C, he fails. Now the question I would like to ask is that just because the teacher predicted that the student C would fail, can the student C blame the teacher saying that because the teacher predicted that I will fail, I have failed? But natural answer is no. The teacher predicted the student A will get a first class first because he knew that the student was studious and he was intelligent. Student B, he was an average student. Student C, he used to play hooky. He used to bunk school. He never used to study, never used to do the homework. So based on that, the teacher predicted that student C would fail. But student C cannot blame the teacher because the teacher predicted I will fail, therefore I failed. The student himself is responsible. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ilm ghaib. For example, when a human being comes at a crossroad, there are 5 roads from which he can choose. Road 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has the free will, he can choose any. He chooses road 3. And that's already mentioned in the destiny that he will choose road 3. It is not because Allah has mentioned he will choose road 3 that he has chosen road 3. It is.
See how they lie? And this is what we will do today. We will get them busted. He claimed that, well, Allah, he knew what he will choose, so he wrote it there. But that will not be destiny. That will not be destiny. Destiny is something totally different. Destiny is you decide for somebody. I mean, the word destiny itself is clear. So, especially in Arabic, you know, قدر الشيء, which mean he measured it. And now we will play for you other Muslim. And you will see the other Muslim, he will say the opposite. Are we talking about the same religion? Or we have different religion? Let us see. This is not about knowing which Allah predicting here. What a bunch of liars.
In his question, if all is predestined, why do anything? Very short question that requires a lecture. Predestiny is one of the 6 pillars of Iman, of faith, that no Muslim can be a Muslim without believing in them. So the last 6th pillar of it all is to believe in predestiny, to believe in what Allah had ordained.
Did you hear the word ordained? People, did you hear the word ordained? What ordained mean? So do you see how Muhammad, Zakir Naik, say something, and Muhammad Asim al-Hakim say the opposite? Every one of them depend he speak to who. If one is teaching about Islam, he will say it as it is. If one is teaching or let's say trying to refute argument, he fabricate answers. Muslims, they try to lie always in order to win the argument. When you say ordained, it means it's already written for you to do it. This is not about God knowing. And just to make it more clear, this is Mufti Menk.
So you have to come onto earth. The fact that Allah knows it and the fact that Allah has written it does not make you a person who should now give up, because if that was the case, then obviously you would be the fool.
Huh? Listen carefully how he will contradict himself in 2 seconds. He said you should not give up. But the Quran and the Hadith saying nobody can change the destiny of Allah. Give up in what?
A man came at the time.
Now listen carefully. He just said you should not give up. Did he just say you should not give up? Even if it's predestiny? A man, he came to the caliphate. And what happened here? What happened to this man?
A man came at the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. According to one of the narrations, he needed to be punished because he stole. So he comes to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu and he uses the same line. He says, "Oh Umar, oh Amirul Mu'mineen, how can you punish me for having stolen when it was predestined? My deeds were already written by Allah."
So now do we understand what the predestined mean? The Sheikh, by the way, here he agree. The guy is asking, he's a Muslim, he's asking the caliphate, who is the leader of the gang, why am I going to be punished if Allah made me a thief? Because we believe in the predestiny. Allah decide who will be a thief, who will be a rapist, who will be you know, whatever. So why, I mean, what is the point of punishing me if I did not even choose to be or not to be? And you will see here, Mufti Menki agree. He says this is a good argument if you think about it.
Stolen when it was predestined, my deeds were already written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now that's quite a good argument if you were to look at it.
See, this is a quite good argument if you want to look at it. He didn't say this is a false argument. Do you understand? If this is a wrong understanding, he will say, well, this is a false argument if you want to look at it. No, he did not say it's false. He says, this is a good argument if you want to look at it. Good argument. And now what will happen? So as long as it's a good argument, still the question is valid. Why I will be punished for a sin I did not choose to do?
Written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now that's quite a good argument if you were to look at it. Stolen when it was predestined, my deeds were already written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now that's quite a good argument if you were to look at it. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu was one ahead of this man. He says, well, let's punish this man because it was predestined that we were going to punish him as well.
See, even the answer of Umar, which is not fair, it's a predestiny from Allah. So the whole conversation there, supposedly, it is a destiny. Allah decide, like now I'm talking, Allah told me or forced me to say what I'm saying. This is Islam. So the guy, he have a good argument saying, why for the sake of the shin of Allah, I will be punished if it's a destiny. The caliphate, supposedly he is outsmarting him. He says, you know what? It's predestiny for me to punish you. So either way, it's a predestiny. The thief, what he did by stealing, he is predestined to be a thief. The caliphate, he predestined to punish him. Nothing in the earth here happened according to Muslims, except it's a predestiny. What about choosing faith? Are you a Muslim because you choose faith according to Islam? No. Are you Christian because you choose faith according to Islam? No. Or atheist or whatever. It's a predestiny. And we will have tons of proofs about that. I will open my Skype in case there is some Muhammadan would like to join us. And you will see how the Muslim right away they start fabricate answers based on Allah knows. This is not about Allah knows. Allah is not a news station. Otherwise you are using the word destiny wrong. If you are a Muslim, you would like to join us, feel free. All right. I'm just reading comments in a Skype. I don't see any Muslims. All right. If you are a Muslim, you would like to join us, feel free. If we go in the funny Qur'an, you will find the Qur'an saying tons of things which is contradicting the Qur'an. Chapter 76, verse number 30, chapter 81, verse number 29. And by the way, in the Quran, you will notice that the Quran is a book repeat, like non-stop. Like, you know, if you search one sentence, you might find the whole sentence in tons of verses. So what it says here? But ye will not except as Allah wills. You will not have any will except what Allah will. And this is Yusuf Ali translation, which I don't know. According to Yasir Qadi, this guy don't speak Arabic. But anyway, I think all of them don't speak Arabic, including Muhammad. But you cannot will unless Allah wills. So if you will convert to Christianity, you cannot convert to Christianity unless Allah make that will before you. Are you with me? You cannot will. This is the same guy, you know, the same guy who says, I don't know. Google no. I have no idea. Shall I take him? Let us give him a chance. Maybe he grew up since yesterday. He said the F word to me in the chat last time. My friend, what testimony? Somebody told you I grew in the desert and I became a monk. What testimony? He's not answering. For the person who's asking about my testimony, what testimony, I will tell you about it. What exactly you want? Like somebody told you I'm a priest, or somebody told you I am a saint. What exactly you want? Like they keep repeating, can you tell us your testimony, testimony? What? Somebody told you like I'm the best man between men, and you want to hear what happened to me? What happened to me? According to Islam, Allah, He created me, and He decided that I will create someone, his name is a Christian prince, and he will spank me every day, non-stop, until He make the ass of Allah red. Here we go, you got my testimony. Let us call this Abdul. He is not answering. Yes, Abdul.
Yeah.
Would you apologize for yesterday using bad language?
One second.
Uh,
Hello?
hello, hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah,
What did you say?
would you apologize yesterday for saying filthy language to talking to me? I did not say the F word to you. Why you are using filthy language?
I said to you, you are talking worse than what I said.
No, but you said the F word, and you said the B word.
What is wrong with fuck?
Nothing wrong, exactly. Your prophet, he said that. Is that correct?
In English or in Aramaic?
Your prophet, he speak English?
No, that's why.
Okay,
So
I
he
said
didn't
your
say
prophet says that. You said to me in English or in Aramaic. Do your prophet speak Aramaic? Do you have a third language to give me? I mean, I said to you, is it your prophet who said the F word? You said to me in English or Aramaic? As if your prophet, he speak any of them. I thought your prophet, he speak only Arabic.
So I said to you, he didn't say it.
Okay, so now focus with me. What do you think about the destiny that if you want to convert to Christianity, you cannot convert unless it was the will of Allah before you convert? What do you think? Do you agree?
Our God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is all-knowing.
This is not a question.
So
This is not a question.
you are interrupting
This is not
me.
the question. Yes, I interrupt you because I know the Muslims are like a duck. Muslims are like a duck, but they are not ducks. They talk like ducks, they walk like ducks, but they are not ducks. They are chickens. I'm asking you, if somebody want to convert to Christianity, is that the will? If a Muslim, he is a Muslim, and he converted to Christianity, is that the will of Allah or his will?
Everything is with the will of Allah. Everything.
Okay, so he converted to Christianity because Allah decided that he will convert to Christianity, correct?
Everything is in the will of Allah.
This is not the question. My friend, don't you see why I hang up on Muslims? But you have to repeat my question 1,000 times, lose my voice, and it's the same question. So the guy converted to Christianity. Is it because Allah made him convert, or it was his choice?
It was his choice.
So how is his choice? And the Quran says, but you cannot will unless Allah wills.
It is his choice, but because Allah is all-knowing, He know the future, and He know what He's gonna decide.
Well, this is not true, because the destiny, your prophet said, okay, you know, you saw me before showing your prophet hadith about Adam, correct?
And you showing movies of Mufti Mank, and Mufti Mank is not a scholar.
Oh, you are the scholars who do not know how to say your prophet name correctly.
We don't accept Zakir Naik.
Okay.
He's not a scholar.
Do you accept the Quran?
I accept the Quran, and I accept.
Okay, the Quran says in front of you, chapter 76,
dictionary,
chapter, Mr. Dictionary, chapter 76, verse number 30, it says, but you cannot will unless Allah wills.
Yes, I said to you, everything is in the will of Allah.
What do you mean? You told me it is the knowledge of Allah. There's difference between the will of Allah and the knowledge of Allah. The knowledge of Allah, He knows, He don't get involved. The will of Allah, that means this is His decision.
Everything is in the will. I said to you, everything is in the will and in the knowledge of Allah.
So what is the will? So now you are saying the will and the knowledge. Great. So now the knowledge, we know what the knowledge. So what is the will? What is the will? What is the will?
That you are breathing.
What is the will of Allah? A guy, he became a Muslim, he became a Christian. Don't make me repeat the question. A Muslim, he became a Christian. Listen, a Muslim, he became a Christian.
Yes.
Was it his choice or Allah will? You said to me everything is the will of Allah. So was it by the will of Allah or the will of him?
That a Christian becomes a Muslim is in the will of Allah.
If a Muslim he become a Christian, what is that? Not the will of Allah? If a Muslim become a Christian, is that the will of Allah or not the will of Allah? You will not answer.
If a Christian becomes a Muslim, Alhamdulillah, it is in the will of Allah. But it has a reason why someone becomes a Muslim, or
this is not the question, man. Focus with me. I'm not asking you for the reason, potato. I'm asking you, listen, potato. You see, I have no time for kids. Either you speak like a mature adult, Mr. Butt, or you don't. So when the guy, he converted to any religion, doesn't matter. When Christian convert to Islam, Alhamdulillah. Well, what a silly boy you are. So when a person convert to any religion,
yes,
is that his choice or it was a predestined choice of Allah, the will of Allah?
Okay, you want the answer or not?
Guys, he's asking me, do you want the answer or not?
You want the answer or not?
No, I don't want the answer. Should I hang up on you, you idiot?
I want to give you the answer, but you're gonna
why I have to repeat the question 1,000 times? You are not giving me the answer. Okay, he decided to convert to Christianity or to Islam or to Hinduism. Was it his decision or the will of Allah?
It is the decision of that person,
but
because Allah knows what's gonna happen.
But you idiot! It is you who said to me because of the will of Allah and the knowledge of Allah. So you acknowledged two things a second ago. So the knowledge of Allah, listen, you said because of Allah will and the knowledge of Allah. So the knowledge of Allah obviously is different from the will of Allah. So stop talking about because Allah knowing. Okay. So now you agree that the knowledge of Allah is different from the will of Allah. Do you agree?
Of course.
Okay. So what you keep saying because Allah, you know. So what is the will of Allah? How Allah involved in the conversion of this person? Is it his choice or it's Allah will?
A person, listen, I'm gonna explain it because what that Sheikh said, Sheikh Hakim, or I don't know his name, he said it needs a lecture. It is not a yes or no answer.
Okay. So listen. So are you saying to me the Quran, Allah, when He gave you the verse, He gave you a lecture or He gave you a verse?
No, he gave us the prophet. He gave us
Okay,
the
so
companions.
do you
and
accept
he
what
gave us the scholars.
do you accept what your
He
prophets
gave us the scholars to explain everything.
do you accept what your prophet said?
What?
Do you accept what
Do
your
you
prophet said?
Of course, if it's
All
if
right.
it's sahih, why not?
All right.
Yeah.
Do Allah write your destiny before you are made? If you will be happy
Yes.
or sad? Is that
Yes.
your decision to be happy, decision to be sad, or decision of Allah?
Everything before we born is righted.
This is
in,
not the
Surah
question.
Al-Mulk.
This is not the question. I don't know why
What
I
is-
cannot meet one smart, intelligent Muslims. Listen carefully. If a person predestined to be sad or happy or rich or poor or bad or good, is that something Allah decide or the man he decide? I'm not talking about knowledge now. Stop talking about knowledge, potato. Who is the one decide you will be happy or sad, rich or poor, good or bad, before you are made? Decide, not knowledge. Go.
Now you are talking about wealth or not?
Huh? Guys, now you are talking about the will, huh? Ah, you got me.
No, not
Now
will.
you are
I
talking
didn't
about
say-
the will. Ah, so
I
Abdul.
didn't say will. I say wealth.
Listen. So
I say
a person before he is even made. So who decide who will be sad or happy, bad or good, rich or poor? The mic is yours.
Okay, without interrupting it, the mic is Maya.
Shut up and answer.
Yes. I said to you, everything is in the will of Allah.
What the heck does that mean? Give me the answer, you idiot. So is it his decision to be sad or happy, rich or poor, believer or disbeliever?
What can I do? Yeah. What can I do? He interrupting me.
Because you keep saying the same thing. I'm asking you, is it his decision? Either you say it's his decision or not. So a person, he is not made yet. He is not, listen carefully, he is not created yet. Who decides for him to be a believer or not a believer? Sad or happy, rich or poor? Is that the decision of the person who will be born later, or this is the decision of Allah?
It is not a decision of Allah. It is in the knowledge of Allah. Our person.
Okay, so now I want you to refute your prophet.
Again interrupting me.
No, you answered me already. You said in the knowledge of Allah. You see, you are stupid. You told me it's the knowledge of Allah and the will of Allah. Okay, listen. Here we go. Here we go. This is not about knowledge before the person is even made. Allah decide for how long he will live. He decide he will be bad or good. He will decide he will be happy or sad. He will be this. This is not about the knowledge. Stop saying knowledge.
I didn't said decide. I said in the will of Allah.
You said no. You say you already said that the will of Allah is not the same as. Listen. Okay, let us everybody laugh at you. Is the knowledge of Allah is the same as the will of Allah? You said no. Correct?
No, they are different.
Okay, now tell me what is the will of Allah?
The will of Allah, that everything, every step you make, every breath you make, the heart you that takes every time, that is in the will of with the will of.
Just get lost.